Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Yo, let's get it going, man. Another episode of Habari Live, our Wednesday edition. And we're going to go straight into the news today, man, and straight into the top stories. We may have a guest coming in, a political guest with F that may come in a little later. We'll see if he's coming in. He says he's going to join soon. We got Travis from FINC. He's a political...
which is Future is Now Coalition.
Yeah, it's a political coalition that helps out people to, I guess, to stay more centralized when it comes to politics. But hey, we want to just go ahead and get it going this afternoon. So from the streets to politics, man, we get it going every day. Just talking about what's going on in the world and what we can do to change that, and what it means to voice your opinion about politics today. We just want to discuss those things and make sure that those topics are discussed. So. You want to go ahead and do the rundown, please?
Yeah, I could do that. This week, the appeals court disqualifies Elena Haba as acting U.S. attorney in New Jersey. A three-judge panel of the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Court Circuit unanimously upheld a lower court ruling disqualifying Haba from serving as the top federal prosecutor in New Jersey, according to Reuters. The court concluded that her appointment actually violated the Federal Vacancy Reform Act because she was not lawfully the first assistant when the vacancy arose, making the administration's efforts to bypass Senate confirmation unlawful.
Unlawful. You know, something that you hear a lot when you what's going on. Something that you hear a lot when it comes to the Trump administration. And you know, a lot of things that people were saying when the video dropped from the Democrats discussing the unlawful orders. First thing they said, what's unlawful? That's all this guy gets. I mean, it's just consistent, dog. This dude just, I don't think they know the law. Or if they do know the law, they're trying their best to curtail or trying to go around the law because they have so much power. They think they can do whatever they want because they control the Senate and the House and the Supreme Court. So I'm guessing they think that they can just do what they want. But I'm happy that another one of his lawyers has been removed. It's just sad, man. Just over and over. It's the same mess. So, you know, they don't understand the law and how things are supposed to be implemented. And the courts have to keep correcting him because he doesn't know exactly what he's doing. And it's ridiculous.
Exactly. It really is.
Whatever.
I mean, hey, it is what it is, right? But also this week, Costco Wholesale Corporation is now suing the U.S. government seeking tariff refunds ahead of the Supreme Court decision. Costco filed the lawsuit in the United States Court of International Trade, aiming to preserve its ability to obtain refunds for tariffs paid under the Emergency Trade powers if the Supreme Court of the United States ultimately rules that those tariffs are illegal. The company argues that the executive branch exceeded its authority by imposing tariffs via the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which is a law intended for national emergencies, not a sweeping tariff policy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the SCOTUS has went with Trump on a lot of cases, but not all. And the SCOTUS aren't the only judges that exist in America. Other judges, they have a right to their opinion, and if they're over a case, they have their right to disagree with Trump if that's the way they believe it should go. It's crazy that now y'all just think the Supreme Court is the only place to go. It's kind of crazy. But dang, what was the case you were talking about again? My bad.
Costco suing.
Oh yeah, Costco is, the Supreme Court is going to do what they got to do, man, on this situation. And hopefully these tariffs come down illegal, man, because companies are suffering. Donald Trump is going around bragging how great the tariffs are, but these companies aren't very happy because they're either paying the tariffs or they're sending them off to their customers.
Right.
Either way, people aren't happy about the direction of these tariffs. So Costco has the balls to fight when most companies are bending the knee and just letting Trump do whatever the hell he wants. Yeah. So I give it to Costco, man. Fight. Because there's no, what are you doing?
Right, exactly.
You're putting in tariffs, you're hurting companies, you're doing all these things, and he's doing it on his own without Congress, without the Senate, without a plan, without companies saying their input on what they want.
Right.
He's just doing what he wants. He says he knows how to do tariffs better than everybody else, and everybody else is dumb, is what he's saying. And the history doesn't know anything.
Right.
Exactly. That's what we're rolling with right now.
And speaking of him doing things the way he wants to, when he wants to, Trump's administration under the USDA under Trump's administration, under the direction of Brooke Rollins, announced yesterday on Tuesday that they will withhold administrative funds for SNAP from states that refuse to provide data on program recipients, including names and immigration status.
This sounds crazy. The fact that they're willing to say they're going to hold up benefits from people, and they're going to use benefits again as a way to try to get their way is crazy. Now, I mean, the information that they're trying to go for is what I'm confused about, because it's like, you all should have access to all this. And then the lady this morning, she said that there was a lot of fraud going on. I think she said 189,000 people received
the
benefits that were dead.
Right.
But if you have this data, why aren't you going after the people that are collecting this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I just don't understand what they're talking about. Because it's like, what information do you not know? Because I know this is, because these is information that's easy to find. And I know they have it, but it's a ploy. I don't know what it is. They just want access to their information and data, more access to the state's data. And anyone that's getting access or food stamps, they've already passed this. So I'm not sure why the Republicans want to do this. I just don't get it, man. It doesn't make any sense. It would seem like they would have access to the information from the states. And if they don't trust the states, which they should trust the states to make sure they're doing the right thing, there should already be oversight. But I mean, I just don't get it. Something's not right. I think they're lying. I think they're on something shady. It just doesn't make any sense. None of this. And then they're going to use food stamps to try to and hold it up for other people.
Right.
I mean, I just don't understand, man. This shit is so stupid, man.
Exactly.
And he's going against other states. He's doing everything he can to make states feel as though they have to bend the knee to him. And he's always using tax dollars, Fed dollars to make them do what he wants them to do. Mm-hmm. Instead of discussing with the governor, getting with the governor, talking to them, he's always using mob tactics. And it's just ridiculous. He could just talk to them. I'm not understanding why is it always his first step is straight off the fucking bridge instead of, hey, here's an olive branch. Let's discuss this and try to figure out a way that we can get this. But I just don't get it what they're fucking trying to do.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. And then to use it to block fucking people's food stamps. You're gonna hurt Republicans too. I just don't understand your plan. It's not
exactly like they're saying it. Cry harder, cry harder, cry harder. But even though he's saying that it's gonna affect Democratic-led states, guess what? Republicans live in those states.
Yeah.
So I'm not understanding their logic.
Democrat states are just filled with nothing but Democrats. I mean, like, it's so dumb.
Is that really what they think?
I don't know, man. I mean, it really doesn't make any sense. Is what I keep saying. Because I'm like, what information is it that you really don't have? I want to look into it more, man. But it's ridiculous that the Republicans are okay with using food stamps to get their way,
right?
And telling people
they're okay with starving Americans,
yeah,
just to get their way.
Just to get their way. It's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy.
Yes, it is.
The Democrat Party is over.
Also this week, in fact, it was yesterday, Trump issued a full and unconditional pardon for Juan Orlando Hernandez, who's the ex-Honduran president. And he was serving a 45-year sentence for being convicted of drug trafficking, which is contradictory and hypocritical of the fact that, he says he wants to stop drug trafficking from coming into America, and he was a known drug trafficker trafficking drugs into America, which is why he was arrested and was serving 45 years.
Yeah, man, it's crazy that the president who is telling us that he's killing people off the coast of Venezuela for having drugs, but he lets go of one of the biggest drug dealers in the history of the world.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, kind of a contradiction, but this is what this guy does. He doesn't have any rhyme or reason or anything that's going on with whatever he's doing. It's always some trash. So I'm not sure what this guy's doing, like always, man. It's pretty fucking trash.
I'm not sure what he's doing either. It's ridiculous. But, I mean, he does what he wants to do when he wants to do it.
You let go of the biggest drug dealer and says, it was Biden and their GOJ was going after people and it was a hoax. A judge, they found him guilty. Like, you know more than everybody, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense what this fucking guy is doing. So you're gonna try to put him back in place in Honduras? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Because he's meddling in so much that's going on in South America. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the fuck he wants down there, but he's doing everything he can to meddle in South America. Every country down there, it seems like he has his hand or he has an opinion about the leader. He's all in their business. I thought it was America first.
Right.
He's all in Honduras. He's in Venezuela. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to be taking care of the problems that we have here. Mm-hmm. But somehow you're in Honduras. You're in Venezuela taking care. You want to I don't like the president there. I don't like the leader. Like, man, this is crap, man. And I don't like none of this shit that he's doing. It doesn't make any sense.
No, don't make any sense at all.
Yeah, man. So I can't. Go ahead, dude.
All right. He's releasing all the slimy. Yeah, he's definitely doing that. But this week, some federal workers are suing Trump. They're suing the government, and this particular case could upend civil rights laws as we know them. Tiana Niemer, who was one of dozens of immigration judges that was fired by Trump earlier this year, has now filed a lawsuit alleging that despite her top performance reviews, she was dismissed from her job simply based on her gender and her status as a dual citizen of Lebanon and the fact that she ran for a municipal office in Ohio as a Democrat.
And that's the way that she was a judge, right?
Yeah, she was an immigration judge and she was fired. And she's saying that all of the reasons why she was fired violates the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the First Amendment.
Yeah.
The government responded by arguing that the president's power to oversee the executive branch under Article 2 of the Constitution essentially overrides civil rights laws.
So he can be racist.
He can discriminate against anybody just based on their gender, just because he's the president and he runs the executive branch.
Fuck out of here.
And the Supreme Court is agreeing with him at this point. The courts are right now agreeing that he essentially does have that power.
Right. Woke judge. Well, Mark R. probably a bot. You can't have all judges that just agree with you. That's just not how it works. And just because a judge have a different opinion or a different outlook on something doesn't make you just be like, woke judge, and he doesn't mean anything.
Right.
That's just not how it works. There's going to be judges who are not racist. They're going to be judges who are not pieces of shit like Trump. So that's the way it's going to work. This is not how this country was built, to bow down to Trump on every decision. It's not how it is. So we won't be listening to Trump on everything. And hopefully she wins this case because he's firing everyone, doing whatever he wants to do, getting rid of people just to be doing something. He's a piece of shit, man. And he's not a very good politician. And the way he talks about people is the worst I ever seen in my life. And he's just a bad person. And if you're with him, you're a bad person too. So it's hard, and it gets harder every day. I love to have conversations with people. I love to talk about this stuff, man, but it's getting so hard to even continue to have these conversations with people, man. Because right now, man, you see Trump, you see how he just talked about Somalia the other day. Whew. That was bad, man. I've never seen a politician in today's day, from the 80s all the way into 2025, have I seen any politician call someone trash. Now, maybe in the 70s, I wasn't old enough to know anything about that stuff. In the 70s, in the 60s, you had a whole lot of extremists. But I've never seen anyone just straight out just call people trash, dude, like he did today. There are Americans that are Somali. I know it's something that's hard for Trump to understand, but there are people who are Somalian, and you're just calling them trash and garbage, and just, man, dude, what do you mean I'm kidding? Kidding about what? Trump is not a race of people, bro. Trump is one person. I said I've never seen a politician call a group of people trash.
A whole country.
Of
trash.
People trash. A whole just straight
whole
out
nationality.
Just call them trash, man. How am I being hypocritical? You're whatever, dude.
Trump calls Mexicans and everything else all kinds of names.
This guy does everything he can to disrespect people, and I just don't dig it, man. I don't understand how any of you guys can be okay with that shit.
But they don't like Trump being.
I'm guessing you must be disrespectful,
right?
Yourself in your real life. because man, Trump is a bad person. So I'm guessing that's all you got.
Mhm.
So yeah, man, we're gonna go straight into some more talking about some of these things today. Um, the State Department cuts 38 universities from use research programs over DEI policies. They're cutting funds because these schools don't want to say that they're not down with inclusion. Like, who's against inclusion except racists? But we have a racist president right now who is pushing all type of horrible policies, and now he's cutting colleges and research programs from colleges. Some of these research programs, man, they do a lot to save people. They save a lot of lives, man. And it's a lot of people that will lose out. There's a lot of medicines that won't be taken care of or created because of these research programs are going away. These things mean a lot when it comes to science, and he's done everything he can to take us backwards when it comes to all of these medical professions. They are an anti-science party, anti-science administration, and it's pretty disgusting, man. So we're going to talk a little bit about this, man, and just how much this is going to mean to all these schools, to the students. I mean, it's so stupid, man. What are we doing? I just don't get it, man. I don't understand what we're doing, man. I mean, he's taking funding from things because he doesn't like the people and what they're doing with their private school. Like it's their private school. So, I mean, you're controlling private entities. Something Republicans would say back in the day that they was 100% against.
Right.
Small government. But dude, what is going on?
I saw someone today online on TikTok in one of our comment sections say that, the government shouldn't be able to tell you who you can and can't hire. While in the same breath, trying to defend Trump for telling businesses who they can and can't hire.
Right. The businesses say, hey, and the schools say, hey, we want to have DEI, we want to have fair, we want to be open to everyone. They're like, no, we don't want any of that in there. We don't want that. Take it out. In a country that's been filled with inequality, in a country that's been filled with racism since day one, you want to say take out anything that's diversity, equity, and inclusion. Take it out. I mean, the open racism is it's saddening. It's tiring. I'm sick of it, man. It's only 1 year in, and I'm so sick of it already. But it's gonna be a long 3 more years, man. Because this guy here, he doesn't hide his racism.
It's the government's job to make sure nobody hires illegals.
You can't hire illegals. We already have things in place to stop people from hiring illegals. And also, if you want to hire illegals, you can put in applications to be able to put these people to work. Those people can also come over here and get working visas just to work for a little while, do a little work, and go back home.
Seasonal workers.
It's been like that forever, but now that's not how you guys want it. Mm-hmm. Black people don't need DI, but user, whatever your name is, bro, we have skills. DEI does not make us not have skills. That's one of the dumbest sentences I've ever seen in my life. You have to have skills to get the job. DEI is only going to get you the interview. So you guys think that DEI means you automatically get a job without skills. That might be the dumbest shit I've heard in my life, bro. Who in the fuck is going to hire someone that doesn't know what they're doing? No one does that. All right, man. We got Thomas
Travis.
I'm sorry. We got Travis Misurell on here, and he's going to talk to us about a couple things, man, when it comes to FINC, and we're going to discuss what he has going on. Bring him on in. What's up, Travis? How you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm okay. I can't hear you that well.
The what?
Oh, okay. I hear you better now.
It was
Okay,
probably
okay.
because of the clapping.
Yeah, it could have been. Who knows? All right, man. So talk to us a little bit about FINC, man, and what are you doing with FINC, and what does that mean to you, and what does it can do for our viewers?
Yeah, sure. So it's pronounced FINC, Futures Now Coalition. So right now we describe ourselves as a civic utility, focus on one thing, to upgrade how Americans choose our leaders by using today's rules differently. Kind of like what you guys talk about, that the system's rigged, it's broken, and we have a unique way to try to tackle that. There's basically two main concepts. One is digital politics, and the other is digital democracy. For digital politics, it's really just a new lens to see things as up versus down, in addition to left versus right. That it's not like all Democrats are created equal and all Republicans are created equal. Some are upserving, as in like power first and big money, big donors, special interests.
Yeah.
And then others are downserving. So we're building kind of a new way to assess that, help teach people how to assess it, even with today's resources, and then make it easier and streamline it in the long term. So that's digital politics, and then the other one is digital democracy, which is our long-term plan. Which is basically we're trying to build a future home, the future digital home for American politics. It's going to be a people-owned platform that where we make elections more fair, leaders more accountable, civic participation simplified. Basically build a system where every candidate is seen, every citizen is heard, and we upgrade how we choose our leaders. Basically we want it so an average citizen could just put in their zip code, see all the candidates side by side, who's running, who's funding their campaign, where is that money coming from, how consistent are their promises, because politicians will promise the world to us, and we want to make it clear that they're not always fulfilling their promise. In fact, they're most likely not fulfilling their promises. So it's kind of like basically it's trying to streamline how to see how authentic a candidate is, and if are they truly there to fight for you, or are they there for their big donors or power, like higher powers and stuff like that. So that's the long-term plan. And so right now we're in the next couple of weeks, we're launching our digital politics hub, which is like a coordination hub to start building this with America, get feedback with people. We want to do polling, focus groups, and just involve America throughout the whole process of creating this new system.
That is amazing. And I think that it's something that is definitely needed. We have so many issues with misinformation, disinformation, with people lying, telling things that they say they have done, but they have not done. And right now, social media has removed all updates to try to keep people from seeing what is the truth and what is not the truth. Zuckerberg removed it from his site. You know what Elon did on his site, and everyone has been removing these. Some people have community notes, but it's a tough crowd out there to try to figure out what is the truth, what is real, what is happening, what is really going on, and it's on purpose. A lot of politicians are making it muddy. And I think that this is a great idea to have a site where people can go and see for sure. Now, will you have like some of their things they voted for, some of the main things that they might have championed? That would be a great thing to add also. And, just giving maybe a grade on truth. And, what I mean? You said that.
Yeah.
But it would be dope to see that this guy here gets an F. He doesn't do what he says he's going to do. He talks about these type policies, but these type policies never come through. And I love that you guys are doing that, because I do think this is something that is needed. And it's a lot of media companies that are trying to do this, trying to centralize themselves and try to let you know what articles are coming out,
Yeah.
if they're leaning this way or if they're leaning that way, if this is a more a right wing or left wing article, if these articles are being talked about in these circles. So I think those things are definitely, man, needed, man. So
Yeah. And to your point there, so there's a lot of like journalists trying to do these more important things. There's a lot of civic technologies like trying to do kind of similarly like we're doing. But what we want to do is kind of build the overall umbrella that's going to
yeah,
be controlled. The citizens are going to own it. It's not Think, not the big tech, not the parties. We want citizens to own this platform, and basically we want to utilize a lot of the tech that already exists. There's certain organizations that we're starting to partner with that they're kind of building some pieces of this technology, and we kind of want to harness it in one spot, make it user friendly for average people, and then just really lift all grassroots efforts. Journalists, our main thing is journalists, underdog and grassroots candidates, movements, political organizations, pretty much everyone that's not part of the status quo and not bought by the concentration of power. We want to start building bridges even beyond the different political beliefs. A lot of times we fight over specific political beliefs when it's really like, let's just try to split on like who's in the concentration of power and who's actually there for the people.
Yeah, that is definitely the truth. I agree. I like it. I really do. So what gave you this idea? What made you wanted to come up with this idea? And is it a website that you will be creating? And what would be that site?
Sure. So kind of to your first question, I've been working towards this for about 3 years now. We're finally getting to release our first tech product in the next couple of weeks. But we've been building all these different concepts, the new language on how to explain what the problem is and get people aligned on what we're talking about. But I guess I started with 2016 when I was following both Trump and Bernie, and I saw how like both of them speak like populists, and like obviously one is more honest than the other, and stuff like that. But both of them spoke to the common American and saying like the system's broken, and that they both spoke as if they're answering to the people. I want to try to stay neutral in terms of like where people stand between on either of them, but
Right.
Whether you agree with them or not, or whether they're lying or not, both spoke as populists, as people that said they want to fight for the working man. But so I saw that, but then I saw like partly the some of the lying that goes on, but then also how the establishment they don't want an anti-establishment pro-populist, pro-American candidate to change the status quo. Whether it's Democrat or Republican, they both have their side of kind of the keeping things the way they are. So I kind of really realized that in 2016, and then took a couple years that I was doing other things, but then really landed on building this platform, and then and really a lot of it's psychology. I have a psychology background, and so to me, the biggest thing is like if we could reframe how politics is seen. Like right now, we're pushed against each other. It's all left versus right, like regular people, left versus right, and it's like that's not the core issue. Everyone in office, has these conflicts of interest and all these other things, and so there's a deeper battle than just left versus right. So a lot of what we're doing is really about psychology, how we're framing it, how we're going to set this up in a way. Like again, it's going to literally be citizen owned. It's going to take a couple of years to flesh that out, but essentially we want it that every American can opt into equal ownership of this tech platform. Wow. And basically build it so to ensure that Americans actually keep control of it, and no like billionaire could come in and take it over, and politicians or even the government can take it over. So it's always going to be privately owned, but like everyone's allowed to opt into ownership on this as American citizens.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then to your second question. So right now we have our website futureis.org. Right now it mostly just explains what our mission is, what our plans are, what we call our blueprint of how to do this step by step. And then pretty much around New Year's, there'll be the Digital Politics Hub will launch off our website. So that'll be it's going to be like hub.futureis.org, and it's really a web app at this stage when it launches. But it'll have all these tools on how to coordinate, how to learn about up versus down politics. We're going to share resources of like, because right now there is public information like on opensecrets.org. You could actually look at who funds campaigns right now.
Okay.
It's not super user friendly, but it's there. It does tell you who funds. All federal and state candidates are visible there at this stage.
Opensecrets.com.
.org. Mm-hmm.
.org. Okay. Can you
say
that? Opensecrets.org.
Yeah. So there's a couple of resources where like some of this data is already public. So we're going to share. We're going to have a section for sharing those resources, giving people kind of like a checklist on like how do I assess my candidates and how legitimate they are.
Okay.
And then work towards digital democracy again is the bigger goal. Like hopefully if we could grow and get enough awareness in the next couple months, then we could have some of this, some of digital democracy released by the midterm elections.
Yeah.
And then even if not, the coordination hub itself that we're releasing now already is going to start empowering like the underdogs, the grassroots candidates, start helping movements work together more on a digital way rather than more like trying to evolve how they do activism, because a lot of politics like political orgs and stuff are still kind of traditional in how they do activism. It's very in person protests. It's very physical.
Right.
And we want to help them evolve to do more digital activism through social media, like what we're doing, podcasts, independent media. So we're talking to different like movements and candidates and stuff to try to help them evolve and find newer ways to both work digitally and how to help each other work digitally, like amplify each other's efforts.
Right. Yeah, man. I love it. I love it. I love what you're doing, brother. That is definitely will help a lot of people, and especially of the people who are open to learn and they're just not making decisions. And that's a problem today. You know, a lot of people are just making decisions by whose side they are on and if they're red or blue. Let's read into what these people are. Let's do something to find out more about these politicians. And, you know, I was thinking while you were talking, when it comes to local elections and you see a lot of these judges that are on the ballots. I don't know if you guys are doing anything about that, but I think that is a big problem because you see these judges, you try to do some research on them and try to find like their cases, try to find how are they siding on things. And it's kind of difficult for the normal person to find this information about these judges and how these judges are leaning. And you're supposed to vote on them and you don't have enough information about who they are and what they are representing. And I think that's something that needs to change because these judges, they're making decisions, man, for your life. And some of these things may change what you have going on in yours. And I think that would be something. I don't know if you guys are doing that locally, but I do think that's something that needs to be changed also, man, because these judges, they get in office and we have no idea who we voted for. Or some people just skip over it because they feel as though they're not informed enough to even make the decision on these judges. It's just names on a sheet to most people. And then if you still Google them, where do the most normal people, where do you go to see how this guy has failed when it comes to judgments and what judgments has he made? Is he putting crooks back in the streets that shouldn't be out there? What is he doing? And I think that's something that it's part of politics. And that would maybe be something you guys can also add in. I don't know when it comes to locally. But one of your core goals is to redefine representation as the true common ground. What broke in our current system, in your view, that makes this definition necessary?
Yeah, so it really boils down to money in politics. You know, about a little over a decade ago, Citizens United was passed, and that said that corporations are human beings with constitutional rights, and that money is freedom of speech, and like. That's so crazy because like if money's freedom of speech, then there's some people that clearly have a louder voice than other people.
And that's not fair.
So not fair. So even before that, money was definitely still an issue, but that cracked it open even more. And then even since then, it's just getting worse and worse. You know, originally Democrats were against it, but then they embraced it. soon after. First they just saw it as like a Republican benefit, but then they're taking the same kind of money. But like, everyone kind of knows a little bit that money is a problem, but they really underestimate how deep the money impacts these all their policies, every decision they make. And like, so we're trying to educate people, whether it's Democrat or Republican, even if there's a majority of Democrats in Congress, like neither side's going to fix healthcare, for example, as long as big pharma and the private health insurance industry is giving them millions of dollars on both sides. Like they're never going to reform the industries that need to be reformed as long as those industries are bribing them. So we just see it as like the issue at hand right now is money in politics, and that completely negates the having a democracy.
Yeah, I mean, bills have been created and not passed. There has been many times that they've tried to remove lobbying from politics, but it hasn't worked out. And a lot of people love the money that's being put in their pockets. We also seen, them try to take away insider trading. That also fails. These guys and these are the things that we all can unite on. It doesn't matter if you're left or right. You should be all a way against this. You should not want money to make decisions for your politicians. They should be talking about their constituents, and that's what this should matter. Not how much money that a company has greased you up on in your pockets. And these are the things that we should be fighting every day. But we got too many people who want to fight about ignorant things instead of focus on the things that matters the most. You said Fink is about using today's system differently. What is the system capable of right now that most citizens don't really realize?
Yeah, so like kind of just adding on to what you just said here is like, there are great like reform organizations that are trying to change things, trying to overturn Citizens United, try to make better campaign finance reform, the insider trading bills and stuff. But like right now, they're not going to succeed right now. Like it's just not realistic to think that I always say it's like the wolves are not going to put a lock on their own cage. And like for us, it's our long-term end goal is for those reforms, but what we're doing in terms of like using the system differently and that kind of stuff is like so for example, we can't make money in politics illegal anytime soon, but we can make it harder on them, because if we build a platform like we're saying, like two things. One is that when you're showcasing all candidates equally, that means they don't, like, instead of needing millions of dollars just to have a voice, now all of them have a voice. And then all we have to do is promote one platform, and then all the candidates are seen equally. And so it's cheaper, more efficient, it's user friendly for the citizen, it'd be easier for the candidates. The corrupt candidates won't like it, but good candidates, they would love a situation like this where they don't have to spend all their time dialing for dollars. And then not only that, but then also we want to make it super transparent about that money that they're taking. So if you're a citizen, you're going to log on to Digital Democracy and you're like, I really care about healthcare. And then when you're looking at candidates, we're going to say, hey, well, this guy says they're for helping you with the healthcare that you like, but look, they're taking $10,000 this quarter, from healthcare. So you might want to think twice about supporting that candidate. So in a nutshell, like, we can't make money in politics illegal, but we can make it a lot harder to take it and make them think twice that, if I take this money, my constituents, now they're going to know, because it's so much easier to understand, to know who's taking the money.
Right. And to find the information. And that's what it's about. I know, a lot of people won't care about this because some people just don't care. But the people who really care about politics, this will be number one on their list when they look up their candidates and they make their decisions on their voting ballots. And I think this will make a difference, man, because people, they want to know. They want to know who's real. And the thing is that so many of these candidates, they can hide all this information. Sometimes the news, they let us know, the media let us know, like with Hakeem Jeffries, a lot of money that he's been taking from a lot of these PACs. And, we get called out And you find out these guys, you know, they talk all this game, but in the back, they're taking all this money from all these people. And so we have to figure out, these guys, they have to figure out some different ways to raise funds,
Yeah.
because just taking money from these companies is not what we want as Americans, because I'm definitely sick of it.
Yeah.
And the decision, especially when it comes to healthcare. It's the
Yeah.
reason why we can't get it. I mean, these guys spend more money than anyone
Yeah.
trying to lobby people to get their ways. And it's ridiculous. And we all should be able to agree on that. So
Yeah.
we've seen record political division nationwide, man. How does Fink maintain trust as an agnostic platform without being accused of leaning left or right?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, we call ourselves politically agnostic. It kind of takes nonpartisan to another level. And,
Mhm.
you know, basically what we're saying is, and this is actually where digital politics side of it, the lens plays a part of, you know, if we as Americans focus on democracy as a system that we could redesign instead of just politics, like fighting policy by policy, the same battles of Democrat versus Republican.
Mhm.
But like, if we actually look, like, how are we deciding who we're voting for? How are candidates running their campaigns? And if we evolve that, we're now in the digital age. Everything else in this world has evolved except politics. It's still backwatered. It's still like billboards and commercials. Like,
Yeah.
we're digital now. Like, the internet exists, and it's like politics doesn't know the internet exists. So what we've been realizing as an organization and in our mission is that you know, like you were saying earlier, what we're fighting for, of having a better system, more representation, a more direct democracy. There's no sides to that. There's not like, oh, it's against Republican policy, Democrat policy. No, you know, yes, when we go into, like, you know, immigration or healthcare, that, like, the specifics, that's when people divide themselves. But let's put that aside for now. Let's focus on the core problem of democracy. We are not being represented. You know, the system is bought. If we work on that and improve the representation there, once we start fixing that, all the other issues will slowly work itself out. It'll be a lot smoother. It won't feel as, like, you know, do or die, and like the stakes being so high right now. So, like, even right now in our mission, we have Democrats, we have Republicans, libertarians, anarchists, socialists. Like, we have people all across the aisle. We're even open to, we hope to see a world where third parties are viable, and independent candidates. Maybe it doesn't have to be a two-party system forever. You know, so, you know, it would take a lot to happen that way, but we see a path. You know, if digital democracy really succeeds and people really know about this platform and they really trust it and embrace it, that could change everything. If money is not the number one issue that dictates who wins, it flips the entire script upside down.
We know the people who usually outspends the other candidate usually wins.
Yeah.
The person who gets the most money in usually wins. And you're right, man. Those things should not be a part of politics. You should be able to win with no money. You should be able to win without having the people giving you all these dollars, because those things are not what should matter when we're talking about who should be representing us as a country. So looking ahead, what does Fink look like? A more informed electorate, stronger local candidates, a new model of citizen-led representation. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, so definitely, like, more direct democracy. Like, we envision where a candidate, instead of right now, it's kind of like a candidate has their platform, and it's usually just whatever their party tells them it is, and we have to conform to the parties. But I want it to slowly, we would like to see it shift slowly to where, you know, like, if I'm going to run in a district, I'll be able to pull up digital democracy and say, what does my district want? Because another feature that's going to be on it is polling and different surveys and stuff. So we want to measure what does America want per state, per district, everywhere. So we envision where a candidate would look at their district and, like, okay, so 80% of my people want this for healthcare, and 60% want this for immigration, and basically shape their policies based on what Americans want, rather than forcing us into what they want.
Right.
So we envision that. We envision accountability. Like, journalism was dying for a while. Kind of the internet's bringing it back somewhat, but the mainstream media is still not. They're not going to call out the corruption and all that. So, we're hoping that between digital democracy, which is also going to amplify journalists and independent journalist efforts, that bring more accountability into the system. If a candidate's promising things left and right and then they don't even try, we want there to be consequences. We want them to know that they can't get away with it anymore. So some of it's part of like a more informed electorate, but then also making it easier for the electorate to be informed. If this information is streamlined and it's digital and you can just see it like really organized on one site, and you could follow the candidates that you like, you could follow the policies that you like, and just everything is as automated and easy as possible, to kind of like, make it so politics isn't a second job for citizens, that they don't have to spend all like hours and hours to understand it. We want to make it streamlined and easier for them.
Yeah. So we do have one question from the viewers. How do you guarantee the accuracy of your polls? What polling will you try to grab your information from?
Yeah, sure. So over like the long-term goal is that people on the platform are there's gonna be verified logins. So everyone, whether you like everyone will be allowed to be able to sign in to access information in general. But for the polling, we have a whole process. Probably don't want to get into it right now, but there'll be this whole process where all citizens can remain anonymous, but they still can register. They still would be able to register themselves for a certain district. So even like a politician will say like they don't know anything about you. All they know is that you're in District 23 of Georgia, whatever. So we're actually going to verify people's districts, and that's like the only thing that really needs to be verified. So that would be so once we get to that point, that's how the polling system would work. Before we get there, we're going to just do general polling. We're going to also aggregate it with existing reputable pollsters while we still have low numbers. And then as more and more citizens are involved in this, then that would take higher weight until eventually this would be the platform for that kind of information.
All information. Yeah, that is cool, man. I really think that this would help to inform a lot of the voters, because that's what a lot of politicians are afraid of, a very informed electorate. People do not want that. They do not want the citizens to understand, to know what's going on. They want to keep us in the dark. And that's what they do when it comes to the backroom deals, the under the table deals, the money taking from back rooms, and all the money that we do not know about when it comes to dark money in politics. And I love it that you would be doing something to try to inform people where this money is going. And a lot of politicians will be very upset about that. So, and I just like it. I love the idea. I hope nothing but great things come to you guys, and whatever we can do to help you to get it moving forward, brother. We always reach out to us if you need any articles, any PR, anything. Hit us up, and any other interviews you need. Just make sure to let us know, brother, if you have anything going on, man.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, in January we're going to be hitting a lot of really great new milestones. So we'll definitely circle back. I'd definitely take you up on that. That'd be appreciated.
Yeah, definitely let us know. We really appreciate talking to you, bro. And we hope you have a good rest of your day, Travis. And like I said, get with us and make sure that you let us know when any new steps are taken toward getting this live and going.
Sure. Cool. Yeah.
Right, bro. Have a good rest of your day. Good luck.
Thanks. See you later.
All right, man. That was Travis talking about Fink and what he's going to build, his application he's going to build to try to make it a little better for the electric and people who are trying to vote, just giving them more information. And this is what we want, man. We want people to have all the information they can so they can make great decisions on what is going on. The main topic of discussion we were talking about today was Trump disliking Somalian immigrants, Afghan immigrants, and all immigrants. That was the main story. And a lot of people, they came in talking about how they feel about it. And this is, Trump is pretty open that he hates all immigrants except white ones. Anyone that's white, he's fine with. I saw someone say, well, his wife is an immigrant. Yeah, he's fine with white people, South Africans, white people. He said he loved white countries, Norway. He's cool with that. But any time the person's black or brown, it's all disrespect. And that's what it's been. And anyone who's, with that or think that's okay, it's they're a little okay with a little racism.
Just a little bit.
This guy is 100% racist, man, and he's not even trying to hide it. I mean, it's crazy. We talked about the 38 universities that he is hurting, and we see this, man. Like I was saying though, when it came to the university, this isn't small. We're talking about elite institutions. Some of the top in the country, man, when it comes to engineering, cybersecurity, medical, and international studies programs, all potentially blocked from receiving State Department research funding unless they abandon DEI-related criteria in faculty hiring. So it's pretty sad. This is what we're seeing today, and this is what's going on, man.
Right. According to international documents obtained exclusively by the reporters, the administration's proposal would require the universities to certify that they do not use diversity statements, representation goals, or identity-based hiring measures, or they'll lose access to the research pipeline entirely.
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. Universities called it political interference. The administration calls it restoring merit. All of it is garbage. Critics warn it could cripple programs dealing with cybersecurity, climate work, nuclear non-proliferation, and diplomacy training. Programs the U.S. relies on to keep pace with global competition. And these are the things that's going on, man.
Mm-hmm. Higher ed leaders we spoke to say that the move is unprecedented, not only because of the numbers of schools that are being targeted, but because this is a state department and not the Department of Education that's stepping in to police this university hiring.
Yeah, man. One civil rights group said the quiet part out loud, though. DEI didn't break national security. Ignoring talent from diverse backgrounds will.
Exactly.
And that's what they're trying to do. That's what they want these colleges to do as they force their way onto private companies.
Yep. This push lands right in the middle of the administration's broader crackdown on DEI across the federal government, a campaign promise that's now being applied to national research.
And they're always talking about a merit-based system. When we merit is come on, bro. Let's stop it. No one cares about merit. You get jobs by what you know and who you know.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know something. You have to be educated, definitely. But it's always about who you know. And if you know the right people, nepotism will get you all the way to the top.
Every time.
Stop it with the fucking merit. When you know that nepotism is the runner of this fucking country. Hiring your brother, your uncle, your auntie, your friend, your homie. That's the way this shit works. Not fucking merit. So stop it. Half the people in fucking Trump's cabinet wouldn't be there if it wasn't for nepotism and bullshit. So quit it. And let's be real. This almost certainly face legal challenges from universities, faculty unions, and civil rights organizations. We're already hearing chatter of the first lawsuit being drafted. They're going to sue this dude, and more tax money is going to go to courts because this dude is trying to make schools do what he wants them to do.
Yep. So we'll go ahead and continue tracking which universities are actually being named and how deep the cuts go, and what this means for specific scientific research and the U.S. foreign policy going forward.
And we've already seen some of the consequences of this. We've lost 17 million students, and the amount of money that schools have lost because of Trump's immigration crackdown, school crackdowns, and the crackdowns on students and information, it's going to kill us. The student pipeline, scholarships, opportunities, and American global competitiveness is going to kill us on the global scale. And this is what we're going to see in the future. And the money that these schools are losing is astronomical because this guy hates immigrants. He doesn't like anyone from any other country coming here. But look through our history. When it came to rocket technology, the Germans, they brought that technology over here. We learned it from the Germans. When it came to a lot of farming technology, how to grow rice, how to grow a lot of different things, African Americans brought that information over here to teach Americans. There's so much information that comes from other places. To act like Americans are the people who create every idea is the dumbest shit ever. When we've gotten people from other places, Einstein, we've gotten all these people who came over here and gave us ideas. And we've used these ideas to take our countries to another level. To act like it's only been Americans that have made these ideas is just fucking a piece of shit lie. We all know that it's been people from around the world, Russians, that have came and helped us. We all love Japanese anime. Like, dog, we are a global country, a global world with the internet that makes people from across the world seem like they're across the street. That's what this does today. And you guys trying to run back to this country of only Americans is the dumbest shit ever. And our country has never been like that. All this Christian shit, I'm hearing them talking, it's a Christian country. This country ain't Christian. It's based on no fucking religion. But they swear to God it's Christian Judeo. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here with that bull. It's all bull, man. We have to take people from students from all over the world. I don't understand what this crackdown is. It's stupid. More Americans are not going to be able to fill these slots for these students because the people who's going to school are going to go. It's not like you're being turned down to go to these schools. You got many opportunities to go to whatever fucking school you want to go to. It just costs too much money for us. The amount of money it takes for us to go to a college is ridiculous. I'm still in debt trying to pay off fucking school loans. It's the way it is, man. But these other countries, they're giving their kids opportunities. They're paying for their kids to go to other countries and learn. We shouldn't hurt these foreign students because Trump doesn't like anybody else. It's ridiculous. I don't have to say Judeo right. I don't care. Stupid Christian shit is dumb. But first, we're gonna get to this. We're gonna get up. We got one more story we want to do here, man. Republicans show their hate again for immigrants as we seeing them push the Exclusive Citizen Act. As parties split over the H-1B visas and immigration's future, this new act that they're trying to push to make sure that people only have one country. They can't be dual citizens. One country. That's you have to say, forget your old country you come from. You can't be a dual citizen. You can only be American. It's the stupid act that they're trying to pass. It's dumb.
Yep.
It's a major immigration fight that's quickly becoming a full-on civil war inside the Republican Party because some of them wants the HB1B visas and some of them don't. But it's becoming a definite something that's split between the two right now.
Yep, that's right, Damon, because Republicans are clashing over the new proposal called the Exclusive Citizenship Act, which was introduced by Ohio Republican Bernie Moreno, a bill that would restrict or revoke dual citizenship rights for millions. But this fight isn't just happening in a vacuum. It comes as Republicans also escalate their attacks on H-1B visas, which is the very program that brings highly skilled engineers, scientists, and innovators into the U.S. workforce.
Man, it's tough. It's tough, man. Y'all are clashing because you got people like Laura Loomer who don't want the H-1B visas at all, And you got people like Trump and Elon Musk who say, and Ramaswamy, who say that they have to have the H-1B visas because Americans are dumb. So it is a split that's going through your party, but you just probably not smart enough to fucking know that. But this is something that is being a big fight. A lot of people are mad at Trump for saying that he's pro H-1B and also saying that Americans are dumb. We're not smart enough to do these jobs. He said it out loud to a Fox reporter.
Mm-hmm.
So Marino says the Exclusive Citizen Act is about loyalty. He's a fucking idiot. Critics argue it's about exclusion, a move designed to make citizenship harder, narrower, and more ideological.
Yep. And immigration advocates say that the bill is essentially a warning. Don't come to America. Don't try to become a citizen. You're not welcome here. Meanwhile, constitutional lawyers say that several parts of this bill may not survive court scrutiny.
And this guy, who is, I think he was from Cuba or Colombia, one of the two, you know, he loyal to America. He got rid of his Colombian, I think, citizenship. And, you know, just because you did it don't mean others want to.
Right, like they said in the comment section. So what about Trump's immigrant wife and her son who has dual citizenship? It'll be gone.
It'll be gone. If they're not loyal and get rid of it, then he wants to deport the people who are not just with one country, and that's America. He wants to get rid of them. So, I mean, that's his stupid plan.
You have to renounce the country you from.
Right, renounce. He wants to renounce. You have to renounce that country. You have to say, I don't want to be a part of that anymore just because you're an American. And that's just insane, man. And this is where things get interesting. Because the push for Exclusive Citizen Act comes at the same time Republicans are tearing themselves apart over H-1B visas, this comes a big discussion.
Yep, because some Republicans, especially the business wing of the Republican Party, know the truth. American tech, medical research, engineering, and manufacturing rely heavily on H-1B visa users.
And, you know, and I'm caught when it comes to these things. I'm not going to lie to you, because I do think that we should be doing more to educate Americans to get in these jobs.
It shouldn't be so expensive to learn it.
I know that's the part that Americans have to go $100,000, $200,000 in debt to become an engineer. But they say, all right, we're not doing it. They just go get the people from India and Asia and have them do it. So that just means that another job that American isn't getting. Now, like, I kind of agree with the right on this, because we want these jobs. You know, if you're not educated, you know what I'm saying, cool. But the people who are engineers, they want a chance to be a coder. They want a chance to learn these things and get in these positions. So like I said, man, I fall on both sides. Yeah, it's cool that they bring in these guys, but damn, who don't want to become an engineer, man? Who don't want to make $200,000, $150,000 a year? Because these guys are making money.
Working with a computer.
Right. I mean, dog, they're making good money. And people, they want these things, man. You know, like I said, man, I went to school to be an engineer. I'm happy I have an opportunity to be an engineer and do what I do. But these people, man, they come here and they want to work just as much as we want to work. So I understand. But I also understand that Americans are being left behind. So what can we do to get better? And we're not doing anything. I mean, it's like I said, this is a hard situation. I fall on both sides, man. Like, hey, Americans should be getting these jobs. But I also think that these guys should get opportunities also. There's got to be a number. There's got to be something that we can do to fall in the middle on this stuff, so it doesn't get so to a point where that's all that's seen. These are all the people that have engineering jobs are the people from India. And that's not fair.
Right.
So I don't, like I said, it's a slippery slope when you're bringing in others to do jobs that Americans could do.
He wants to make sure anyone serving in a government cannot have dual citizenship.
That's stupid. I don't care about that. That's
so he's going to revoke Melania's dual citizenship?
That is dumb. It's a waste of time, a waste of taxpayers' money. It's the dumbest shit. And Marino should just go back to the fucking drawing board, because it's dumb as hell. But the far right wing wants to eliminate or free H-1Bs entirely. I'm not into it entirely, but I do think that it should be slowed down. Maybe only a certain percentage can get the jobs, and we should be doing more to educate Americans, to make education cheaper for people can become these things. I don't agree with Donald Trump that we're not smart enough. We're not smart enough. Americans aren't. That's dumb. That's fucked up. We are smart enough. We can do the jobs, but we need the opportunities. We need the education. India is going. These kids in India, they're getting free schooling, all type of opportunities that we're not getting. I don't know, man. I don't know, Eric Lean. There's got to be labor from other countries, man. That's always been about. That's been like way from America from forever. People come here from Mexico and Canada, and people come and work. If you need people to come and do a job, it's okay to bring people from other countries. They don't have to be citizens here to come here and work. I don't know when that changed and why y'all so mad about immigrants. We know these are lower jobs that most people don't want to work. There's going to be lower wage jobs. It always has been. And for people to get mad about that and don't want those people here or don't want those jobs here, you must don't care about farming. Because these farmers, man, they can't afford to pay these people all this money. If they could, we wouldn't have these problems. Didn't have all these problems, man. Obviously, we need lower wage workers because they've been here as long as there's been America.
Right.
I understand y'all don't want them here. Y'all hate all illegals, but hey, go work the jobs. Shane Lewis, you go work it. You go work the field. Get your ass out there. Get on out there.
I wonder how many of these people know exactly what country their ancestors came from.
Yeah, man. You know, they always talking about somebody else. Go back to their country. Go back to yours. Do that. So, I mean, dude, like I said, man, I'm not working in no goddamn blueberry farm. I know that. I'm not working it. If you're going to work it, go ahead, man. Y'all go out there and work them, replace them. Work them. Work the jobs. Work those. A lot of, yeah, they are in a lot of construction jobs, definitely. A lot of people aren't standing in line to work construction jobs. That's a hard job, man. You acting like people are just standing in line to do these jobs.
Are you going to stand in line to go do that construction job? Or are you just going to cry and complain and tell somebody else to go do it?
A welder. Yeah, that's a job that is definitely disappearing, man. But at the same time, asshole, that doesn't matter if you was a retired welder. It doesn't make a difference. The job is still disappearing. It's not many welders as it used to be.
Robots are doing the welding
man,
now.
That shit don't matter. It doesn't matter what you did or what you used to do. Today, we're talking about today. And a lot of people don't want to do these construction jobs today. These kids aren't coming out of school trying to do. Now, we do have more kids who are trying to do these things, trying to learn a trade, trying to do these jobs. But most kids are more technical and they want to build things when it comes to applications, when it comes to computers. And that's what these people want to do, these kids nowadays. They're not into becoming welders. I'm sorry. That's not what they're doing.
Kids today don't want to be a miner, getting black lung.
My man, look up welding jobs. It is a dying profession, my boy. Sorry, man. You talking about welders in the band. Right. Yeah. Like I said, man, I know a lot of people who was welders back in the day, but it's not something that's it's being replaced, especially in the warehouses. Most welding is already done by robots. Say what you want to. Maybe not, maybe custom welding, yeah, but still. But when it comes to the mass production and when it comes to these factories and all those things, most of the welding is not done by the welders anymore. Right. They're not doing these jobs.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So corporate conservatives say that that's nonsense. I do agree. That's nonsense that that H-1Bs will replace American workers. Well, I agree with the Republicans on that, man. We can do these jobs. And the tech bros, they say blocking H-1Bs would cripple US competitiveness, especially against China and India. I'm not saying that we should just shut H-1Bs down.
Right.
I'm saying that we should have a certain point, maybe, hey, only a certain amount of H-1Bs,
Right.
but
A
then
certain percentage.
we should be doing something to educate our people, our citizens, so we can get into those places. Or if you're hiring these people from China or India to teach us how to do these jobs, then that's cool. But man, you can't just leave us out. We already got AI killing us. We can't have these people killing us also. Americans gonna be broke as fuck. So I'm not sure.
I just Googled it and it says welders are in
Short supply. They're in short supply because people know there's not a
they're
job.
They're not.
It's not a job that's expansive that a lot of people can get. That's why. And a lot of people aren't going to school for welding anymore because they know that's a job that's a dead end. It's not like it used to be. I mean, like I said, when I was younger, I remember my aunties and all of them went to welding schools. And most of the people that I knew that were doing welding back in the day, they aren't doing it anymore. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, we're now seeing open fighting between these fractions. One strategist described it like this: Republicans want innovation, but they're attacking the very people who fuel it. They're attacking the very people who are innovators.
Yeah, I mean, we want innovators. We want the smartest people to come here, especially if they want to. And foreign students, man, they're already dropping out. And not because of this bill, because of other things that Trump is doing to make it hard for foreign students to come to America. And here's the context everyone needs to understand. America has already seen a major decline in foreign students enrollment, roughly 17% down, like I said earlier, over the last 5 years. Before the Exclusive Citizen Act was even introduced or thought of, it's just what it is. Universities say the dropout comes from increased visa delays, anti-immigration rhetoric, higher tuition. Yep, that's the bigger problem. Rising geopolitical tensions, competition from Canada, Australia, and the EU. This bill would worsen a crisis that's already damaging U.S. universities.
Yep.
International students contribute over $40 billion a year to the U.S. economy. I know y'all love to say y'all hate everybody coming here, but that's a lot of money. Losing them isn't symbolism, it's catastrophic for research, innovation, and university funding.
Yep. And at the same time, foreign students are fleeing. We're making it harder for American students to get those loans, those scholarships, and or to have affordable tuition for them to even go into those fields. I know someone in the comment section made a comment saying that we're in short supply of welders, for example.
Yeah.
The U.S. does need an estimate between 330 and 400,000 new professionals by 2029. However, that demand is largely due to the fact that more than 20% of the welding industry
Gonna retire.
is 55 and older, and they're retiring.
Yeah.
And no one is
going to school for
going
that.
to school. So, like, between now and 2028, so the next 3 years, we need at least 84,000 welders to go into the field just to compensate for the 20% of welders that are leaving the field.
Right. Now that's something that I didn't really think about, that the welding may open up because of some of these people that's going to retire. But because it's been these guys who have been the professionals for so long, they've owned all the jobs forever.
And it's made it harder for anyone else to get into the
those
field.
positions. So most people have stopped going to school for those things.
Right.
But, shit, man, people might as well start, because we're going to see a lot of retirements, and we're going to see the boomers go out of the profession. and a lot of
Mhm.
people are going to have opportunity. So, hey, it may be something that kids want to start thinking about. But hey, once the boomers go out, and a lot of people, if you go to school for this, you may have an opportunity, man. And that's something I didn't think about when it comes to that, because, like I said,
But that's only within the next 3 or 4 years. So I mean,
but that's when if you're in high school right now,
and you're doing
right?
VOTEC,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
you're learning
they don't
this.
even offer these things in high school like they
No,
used
they
to, though,
don't.
and that's the fucked up part, also.
Right.
That they don't even offer this anymore. And this used to be something that was offered, and a lot of kids could get into this in high school and
come
start
out
their
and have that
right,
experience.
and start their love for it. And when they get out of school, they already know a couple things, and they can further their education and become a better welder. But that's not something that we're focusing on. We're removing so much from schools now. We're not building an educated citizenship. Our citizens are dumb, and we don't know anything, and we're not trained for anything, because schooling is so fucking expensive. Now, trade schools, man, you're right, man. They are booming, because a lot of people are saying colleges are indoctrination, man. People just learn, bro. It's not indoctrination. They just learn. And when you learn, you realize that these politicians are tricking us on some bull. So it's not indoctrination, man. And just stop it. But trade schools are booming, and a lot of these younger kids are starting to go to plumbing, electrical, to try to figure out some of these things. And I agree. Not everybody is built for college. Not everybody is going to be a college student. Some people just want to go get a trade, don't like school, don't want to do all that. And I understand that, man. It's cool. Some people don't want to go to a 4-year college.
Some people can't even afford to go to a 4-year college, or even a 2-year college.
Yeah.
So they go to trade school.
Right. Yeah, and I understand that. That's, you do what's best for you and your family, man.
It's just like going to Job Corps.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
And
Job Corps
learning
is done now.
and learning a hands-on skill.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, man. So the math becomes brutally simple here. Fewer foreign students, less university funding, higher costs for Americans. That's how this comes out, man. Yep. Less access to education. That's the ending.
Yep. And the result, a less educated workforce,
right,
a weaker economy, and a slower, less competitive America.
So let's look at the big picture. What does the GOP want America to do? What do they want America to be, since they hate immigrants so much? The Exclusive Citizen Act, combined with GOP infighting over H-1Bs, paints a picture of a party at war with itself over the future of this country. And we need to do something about it. Do we want to attract global talent or just push people away? Do we want to invest in education or just drain it? Do we want to lead the world or fall behind in it? Right now, Republicans are sending one message loud and clear. America is closed. We do not want Somalians. We don't want Venezuelans. We don't want Africans. We just want white people. And it's a goddamn shame.
Yep. But, we're going to keep watching the bill's movement through Congress and the backlash that's growing inside the GOP's own ranks. And we'll also see what majority of the Republicans are going to say about how this bill comes out.
I have to disagree with you, Steve Primavera. Indoctrination, I mean, that's ridiculous. People teach. You don't have to believe what they teach you. You're saying like people are idiots, and anything that they're taught, they just indoctrinated. People know the difference between learning and indoctrination. And I think that you don't think that these kids are smart enough to understand that. And they are. They just get smarter. That's the reason why they aren't conservative anymore, because they see what's going on in the world. They see that you guys don't like to conserve anything except the old fucking racist ways. When it comes to conserving water, conserving the earth, conserving the land, you guys could give 2 fucks about that. And when people learn those things, they're not with you guys anymore. They're going to go liberal. When they see and they get to college and they see people are different, they see black people, they see Asian people, they see gay people, and they realize, hey, they're not as bad as my Uncle Steve told me they were. They're just normal fucking people.
Right.
And so they lose that fucking indoctrination that they parents put on them all of their life. That's the true indoctrination. that the racist ass parents is putting down on these kids, and they go to school and they realize it's all bullshit.
Yep. Someone said that going to trade school is cheaper than going to college. I'm going to agree and I'm going to disagree.
Yeah, because some trade schools are expensive as fuck.
Some trade schools for a full program can cost up to $20,000. Not all Americans can afford $20,000.
Not all, but hey, if you're going to pay it off in a certain amount of time, you should be able to do that. But you know, it's tough. But this debate isn't going away, and the consequences will shape America for generations, man. Stay tuned for more Habari Live, and we will get into this situation. On Saturday, we'll talk more about this. What you say, Steve? My daughter's mixed race car doesn't float in my house. My daughter is crushing it in school on her own merit. You're so fucking dumb. I hope you're not fucking telling your daughter this stupid shit. I hope you're not. No one gets anybody anywhere for their fucking skin color. Ever. That's not how it works. You don't get hired for your skin color.
You don't walk into a job and say, oh, you're black, let's hire you.
That's not how it fucking works. She's going to have to learn. And she's going to have to get things by merit because that's the only way it comes to us. Nepotism doesn't come to us like that because we don't own. So she is going to have to work her ass off.
Two times harder than her white counterparts.
3 times harder than the motherfuckers. No one gets anything for their fucking skin color. Ever. So don't even tell you telling your daughter that shit is going to make her lose already.
She going to have that mentality. Oh, I'm going to go ahead. They not going to hire me.
It's not merit. It's nepotism. But if you work your ass off, get your education, you can do something. I'm not saying that you can't. Merit is what is going to happen because you're not going to get anything for your skin color. You have to work for your education. And once you get that job, you're going to have to work your ass off. They're not going to say, hey, look at the black guy. He's black over there. Let's give him a raise. That's not how it works. Like, stop it, man. Stop it. It's not how it works. She's going to have to work her ass off no matter what skin color she has. Some people have it easier because their brother is the CEO. Their cousin is the owner. Their mom worked there 45 years. Some people have that. That's that nepotism that's built into America, and we all know that. We've all worked through it. We've all seen it. So we're going to get up out of here, man. If you like what you've seen tonight, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 7,000 subscribers, and we're trying to grow Habari Entertainment to make sure that we are the news that people go to. We are the information to help you to make sure that you know what's going on, and you have more knowledge to make better decisions for your day. We appreciate everybody that watched, man. We appreciate everybody that commented. Like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we appreciate it. Have a good rest of y'all day. Peace out.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habaryentertainment.com.